Hey Feasters, and welcome to episode 170. And today I answer a question I hear from a lot of you. And quite honestly, this is going to be a reality check if you asked yourself this question. Let's do it. Welcome to the Ask Rezzz podcast. I'm Jason, and I'm here to help you get past those bumps in the road, those struggles, those things that hold you back from building an amazing and profitable freelance business each and every single day. And today's question is, how long does it take? First, I want to say thanks to Justin Jackson for the mention on his podcast, Build Your SaaS. Him and John have an excellent podcast if you're bootstrapping a business and or interested in hearing the stories and the conversations that people have in building a business. Definitely check that out. I'll link it up in the show notes for you. Secondly, an episode of Build Your SaaS is part inspiration for this episode, in fact. Couple that with a few conversations that I've had in the forums over the past couple of weeks. That's where this question comes from. But I do see a lot of this question in and around the internet. Things like, how long does it take to become a success? How long does freelancing take? How long does this X process work? So I want to first say, since the episode of Build Your SaaS and the conversations that I had in the forums are two sides of the same coin, I thought I'd share some thoughts around it. Inside the forum thread, there was a person who was curious how long it takes to become successful in freelancing, which obviously from person to person and business to business, it varies. And to be honest with you, some may never get there. I responded by asking a question. What does success mean to you? And whatever that meant to that person is what will dictate how long it could take. Not that it will take, it could take. Then inside another thread in the same forums, we were talking about specific sales strategies. And this person asked why it works and doesn't work for similar businesses. And it went on, and there was a whole bunch of other people chiming in about it. So there was a lot of back and forth. And what came of the conversation in and of itself was that the specific strategy needed a level of patience, trial, and error. In marketing and sales, you do things that can get you results quickly, but other things take time. So, for example, ads are aimed to get results quick, whereas content marketing is more of a long-term strategy. Now, this strategy in particular fell more on the side of the longer term, but this person wanted a quick win. So in this person's eyes, the sales strategy didn't work because, well, not enough time was actually given. Before I dive into my answer to today's question, I want to share with you what Justin and John unpacked on their podcast episode. And I'll link up that in the show notes, obviously. But Justin has been championing a bootstrapper's mindset campaign recently. Now, that's what I call it. Justin, if you're listening to this, I'm not sure what you're calling it, but the basic idea is that business is hard and everybody's journey is different. But what they talked about in this episode was how MailChimp took 6 years to even hit 10,000 users. Now, I use the word even there to emphasize the point. 10,000 users is a lot, but in the mind of us on the internet now, 6 years sounds like an awful long time. And Justin, in context of some comment thread that he was on, the flip side to this was that DHH, David Hannemeyer Hansen, who is one of the founders of 37 Signals or Basecamp, said in a comment that if it takes 5 years to get to the point where the business can pay 2 salaries, it's possible that the business isn't destined for the long term. Now, this is interesting. And, it's fair from his perspective. I mean, who am I to say that DHH is wrong? But from his perspective, his journey was very different. And that's the thing. Everyone's situation is different. There is no formulaic answer to the question, how long does it take? I've been working on my business full time since 2010. So at the time of this recording, that's 8 years. I'm in it for the long haul though. In business, especially if you're freelancing, chances are your goals are some sort of lifestyle goals. You aren't looking to exit and sell off. You aren't looking to get acquired or acqui-hired. You should really have that mindset that you're in it for the long term. Now, I apologize, and if you don't want to hear me rant for the next minute or so, that's what's going to happen here. See, people throw around these outrageous numbers that are 6, 7, 8 figures like it's as easy as stepping outside your front door to get the mail. It's not that easy. I want to share with you some comparisons to put context around these numbers. There are 100 senators in the United States Congress. So those photos that you see of that half circle with all the people in the room, that's 100 people. 3,400 people built the Empire State Building. There are 20,789 seats in Madison Square Garden. There are 114,000 seats in Mayday Stadium in North Korea. This is the national stadium for the North Korean soccer team and is the largest capacity stadium on the planet. Dallas, Texas has a population of 1,300,092 people. New York City has a population of 8,623,000 people. So I share these numbers with you because I want you to start thinking of the numbers and what it takes to get to these large astronomical figures. If you have 100 people on your email list, you have the same number of people in the United States Congress. I mean, that's crazy. You literally have 100 faces, human beings that are ready to listen to you. So 2 phrases come to mind here. Patience is a virtue, and Rome wasn't built in a day. The advent of the internet has made it super easy to shout from the hilltops. And when folks are shouting, they want to be heard. So the larger, more astronomical that number is, and the shortest amount of time to get to that number is what's heard most. And it actually seems attainable to every single other person out there. Where this is really the case of the 1%ers. Point to keep in mind is that success in business is all based on you and your actions of today to move the needle of the business. It's what you do today that you control. You don't control the person who has to put their hand in their pocket, take out their wallet, and pay you. Ryan Carson said to me on Live in the Feast podcast that it's the discipline of the day-to-day mundane tasks that you need to do and learn to love in order to realize your long-term goals. There is no such thing in business as a quick win, especially in the freelance world. If you aren't in it for the long haul and you aren't in it to help out your customers, then maybe freelancing isn't for you. If you are in it for the long haul though, then do things today to move the needle of your business. Do what you have control over. Keep in mind, your goals and your journey are your own and no one else's. If you want those very large astronomical numbers, you need to do the work to get them. It's not going to be overnight. If you have a question, ask Rezzz. That's me, by leaving me a tweet at Rezzz on Twitter, or head on over to Rezzz.com and get onto my email list. I'll also provide you with a plan and a strategy to get the best clients ever. Until next time, it's your time to live in the feast.